here, your millionaire mentor and the founder of the Millionaire Launchpad. I am so excited today because we are going to be talking about the 3 powerful paradigm shifts that I personally took to break through my current income ceilings that I was feeling stuck from, and more importantly, to help me create true time and financial freedom, and how you can do the same thing too. Work less but make more and become even more independent than you already are, because that's why we all become or became entrepreneurs, right? So before we jump in, I really want to share with a quick story of how I was able to create financial freedom and what that looked like for me, being able to tell my job bye-bye. I always knew I would work for myself. Most entrepreneurs have that knowing. But I also knew before I would quit, I needed to be financially free. I didn't want to put all the pressure on my business or even my spouse. I didn't want the stress or the worry of struggling to pay the bills. So I invested in real estate and I created cash flow from 6 rental properties. I then had enough income from those assets that I felt okay to quit my job, but let's be real, I still felt really scared about quitting my job, even with that cushion. So I remember it like it was yesterday. I was pacing the hallways of the corporate office and trying to build up the courage to go into my boss's room and tell her that I was quitting. So I finally did. I took a deep breath, let it out, and I walked into my boss's office. So she made some small talk. She was praising me for all the great work I was doing. And I felt so guilty because I knew she had no idea what was about to come and that she was about to lose one of her top sales reps. So I quickly shifted the conversation and I said, I'm actually here to talk about this. I took my 2-week notice, I set it on the table, I slid it over to her so that I was directly in front of her. My heart was pounding. Shit, here it comes. She was taken off guard, exactly what I expected what's going to happen, because she didn't know I was going to be quitting my job. And although she handled this news like a professional, there's something I will never forget that she asked me. And it was this: don't you want to stay longer so that you can make more money? I had created the financial freedom and the time freedom to confidently say, I don't need the money, and this is my final decision. Whew, that was so empowering. It felt so amazing, and it felt so freeing to be able to do something because I wanted to do it and not because I had to do it for the money. And that's the feeling that I want for you too. That's the situation I want you to create for yourself too. Whether you still have a job while running your business or you've been in business for 10 plus years, it's time to stop relying on others, whether that's a paycheck or, like I said earlier, invoices from clients. I want you to be self-reliant. I want you to be independent. I want you to be financially free, and even more importantly, truly free with your time and with wealth. So that's the freedom that's available to you too. And what I'm going to be talking about today is really going to help you with that. The first paradigm shift is really to stop being so focused and obsessed with creating a 6-figure business. I see it so rampant in our coaching industry, in our coaching world, our influence world is got to make 6 figures, got to make 6 figures. And for some reason, everybody thinks when you hit 6 figures, everything's like perfect and dandy. So you need to shift away from thinking about that, because when you think of a 6-figure business, you're thinking about how much money can I make, right? It's very money driven, which is okay to a certain point. But here's the thing, you're thinking, how can I make more money? So you're trading your time to make more money. Now, here's the flip side. And when you think like that and you're so focused, for example, on creating a 6-figure business, you're operating as a solopreneur. And so what I want you to do instead, and what really helped me, was to switch that and to actually start to think about your business as a business owner. And as a business owner, you don't think, how can I make more money? How can I make 6 figures? Even more important than that is you're thinking, how can I create systems that support me and that make me money, so that if I want to take time off, so that I want to do whatever or not be in the business anymore, I can do that. Business owners think about assets that they can create in their business that work for them for forever, right? So a solopreneur that's all focused on, and the whole craze is six-figure business, six-figure business. It's very short-term driven, whereas a business owner is more long-term driven, and they're thinking about systems rather than money, 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 money. And even though you're not thinking about money, but systems, the systems are what make you money and allow you to not work as hard, right? And so a really easy way to view that is when you're so focused in on how am I going to make money, how am I going to make money, or the six-figure business or whatever, you are so zoomed in, you're so micro, you're so in the weeds that you start to forget why you were even doing this in the first place, right? Because it's not, there's going to be challenges and we can't always be looking to that six figure. So what I recommend, and as a business owner and not a solopreneur, is you zoom out. You zoom out, right? And you see the bigger picture and you start to ask yourself, how can I eliminate some things? How can I delegate some things? How can I automate some things? How can I start to work smarter in my business instead of me always trading time for dollars, right? So the biggest paradigm shift that I got that helped me create $1 million net worth was when I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he talked about the cash flow quadrant. And really the cash flow quadrant is just 4 quadrants. And the first one, it's employee. So that's where the majority of people are. The one down is self-employed. So that's where solopreneurs typically are, so focused on the money, the money, the money. And six figures, it's ridiculous. And, oh, I made a 10K month. Oh, I made a 10K month. I don't care. What's the system? Is it repeatable? Or did you just have one 10K month and then the other 11 months you weren't bringing any revenue? You see how that can become an issue. At the other top is B for business owner, what I'm telling you to focus on. And then the bottom quadrant is investor, which is what I started with so that I could quit my job. So I did things a little bit backwards, but that's okay too. So the first paradigm is to stop being so focused and so zoomed in to the business and focused on the money and thinking like a solopreneur and thinking, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do to bring in more money? And zoom out and think, okay, what are ways that I can create systems that are going to make money for me, that are going to work for me? So that is such a huge paradigm shift that you need to know. And you need to come from the quadrant of self-employed or solopreneur over to business owner, okay? And it's in the way that you think, it's in the way that you view things. The next shift, y'all, is you need to understand the difference between a positive mindset and a millionaire mindset, okay? So a positive mindset, quite simply, is what all the gurus and mindset people put out there, and it's basically the, I can do it. I am a, journal, I am a six-figure earner. I am a millionaire. I am this. Journal it every single day, and you can do it. Yay, possibility, yay, that's a positive mindset. So you really need to shift that, and it's more short-term focus, like what can I do now? What can I try now? And then the millionaire mindset is more, how can I do this even better? How can I do this even faster? How can I do this even easier? How can I simplify? Because so many business owners overcomplicate everything. And really it's when you start to simplify and you start to distill down to the main primary revenue generators that you actually create the wealth and the cash flow that you're actually wanting, okay? So it's shifting from just a, oh, I can do it, let me try it, to, okay, let me analyze this, or let me understand what systems, going back to being a business owner, I can create. Now, that's more focused. If you have a millionaire mindset, it's more long-term, okay? Now you need to balance both, because you can't be focused all on long-term and you can't be focused all on short-term, because then short-term you're going to burn yourself out because you're always making money but you're always working. Long-term, you're always thinking long-term but you're not making money now. So you're going to have a balance of both, the long-term and short-term. But really, in my opinion, it's like positive mindset. Okay, yeah, you got to believe you can do it. You got to believe it's possible, but then you need millionaire mindset. mindset. So it's not just possible anymore, it's inevitable. Okay, so it's a different shift. It's like it's the next level. And I want to give you all a specific example in our industry, because so many times with my clients and what I see people doing is, if you don't already know this, most millionaires have several streams of income, right? They don't focus on one stream of income. Usually they have 5, 7, who knows, 10 income streams. And so most of my clients and entrepreneurs, like, we know this, right? And so our goals, because we're impatient, is to try to quickly get as many income streams as we can, as quickly as we can. And the problem is, that's great, but that's more of a positive mindset. Like, yeah, I can do it. And so what you find yourself doing is you focus on breadth. Okay, breadth of what you're offering, breadth of your skills. That's kind of hard to say, breadth of your skills. So what I mean by that is people in our industry will be like, ooh, they love creating things because it's fun. And they'll be like, ooh, I'm going to create this. And they get some level of success, and then it kind of stops making them money. So they're like, ooh, I'm going to do the next thing. And then they lose momentum there, and they're not making money there. So they're like, ooh, I'm going to go on to the next thing. Ooh, the next thing. Ooh, the next thing. Ooh, the next thing, right? So there's always something new. And so, because yeah, they're positive and they're like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can create, and I can get some quick wins, but then they don't optimize it or grow it like it needs to be. So you have all these income streams of things that are like maybe bringing you some money here and there, but it's not really done the way that it should be, so that it's making you money without having to worry about it. Like, it's a system that's working for you, right? But you're always creating the next thing that you haven't slowed down to speed up, to make sure that those offers or whatever you're creating is working. And so instead of that, the paradigm shift, really, the positive mindset to the millionaire mindset, how the millionaire thinks, the millionaire mentality is, they don't think about breadth, all the things. What they think about is depth. Okay, depth. So what do I mean by depth? So specifically, you do one offer and you maximize that and you optimize it until it's making you money. You know, focus, if you write down that acronym, is focus on one course until successful. So you focus until you're successful and you have it running. Then you go on to the next thing. So a lot of entrepreneurs, I used to hear this all the time and it would drive me crazy, but people would tell me, slow down to speed up. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I got to just keep going. And literally, it is the truth. And that is how you create wealth and cash flow and increase, and you break through the ceiling. Is just, you just decide, okay, what offer has the most potential, and let me go back and let me tweak things and let me figure out how I can optimize that, and let me get this going, and then I will go on to the next thing. So let me give y'all a personal story. With I invested in real estate, like I told y'all before when I was reading my story from my phone, because I just literally typed it up, so it was easier just to read it. And I allowed myself to do that. And okay, so when I was investing in real estate, for real estate, there's a breadth of all the ways that you can make money with it, okay? So you can You can flip houses, you can get rental properties, you can become a wholesaler, you can become what's called a bird dog, you can find the deals and then you flip the contract and you can make a quick $3,000, $5,000. You can focus on foreclosures, you can focus on marketing and calling people that got divorces and people that had died. People do that and try to get the deals before they even hit the MLS, before they even hit the market, and then you get them below price, right? So anyway, the point is, there's a breadth of all these ways that you can make money from real estate, okay? Just like there's all these different ways that you can make money and offers you can create in the online space. So what I did personally and what helped me create the millionaire or $1 million net worth is I chose one. And what I chose was buy and hold, so rental properties, and multifamily, duplexes. So I bought my first duplex, and then lo and behold, the agent that's trying to sell another duplex reached out to my agent, was like, hey, we got another duplex. Who bought your stuff, and can we get more information, or who bought the last one? Can you tell us about it? And then my agent reached out to me and he's like, hey, there's another duplex. Like, it just opened up opportunities. And then I got another duplex. So they were all duplex, duplex, duplex. So the 6 rental units. And so with that focus, I was able to to one, be open to the opportunity, and two, it simplified things, right? I knew how to do it so I could move fast. I was like, well, I do this, I know this makes me money, let's go as quickly as possible. So I was able to pounce or jump, whatever you want to say, on the opportunity quicker. So that was all about depth and not breadth. So you really need to shift your mindset from, ooh, I can do it, let me do all the things, to let me think like a millionaire. How can I do this easier, better, faster? How can I simplify, and how can I focus on one thing until I create what I want there, and then add another income stream, and then add another income stream, and then add another income stream. Okay, so so that's the paradigm. Number 2 is know the difference between the positive mindset and a millionaire mindset. The third paradigm shift, and I used to hear this all the time, and it would drive me crazy. And basically people say fail fast. Let me know if you've heard that. They're like, fail fast, fail fast, fail fast. So like the faster you can fail, the better. So it's basically this mentality of just like go, 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 go as quickly as possible, which to a certain degree, there's some truth to that, right? We got to take action because that helps us see results and see what works and what doesn't work. But how I view it and what helps me have a millionaire net worth and millionaire mindset is really thinking about, I'm never failing, I'm always learning, and also to be focused on clarity, what I really, really want first before I take action, like slowing down to speed up again. Getting really clear on what I desire, who I help, why I help them, why me, what's different about me, what am I really good at, and what are the things that I can really help them optimize and maximize, and do I enjoy that? Do I feel good when I talk about those things? Do I feel in flow? Does it just happen for me? So really it's about not just taking action and go, go, go and fail as quickly as possible, but it's getting clarity, slowing down, and then taking action from that clarity. Because here's the thing, y'all, resistance comes from not having enough clarity. Resistance comes from not having enough clarity. So a really good analogy and simple way to view this is so many people that are all like doers, which I'm a doer, so I really have to slow myself down to be really candid, is they focus on the ladder. Okay, that's the best example analogy I can give you. So they get the ladder and they put the ladder against a wall, right, and they start climbing up, and they're trying to climb up as quickly as they can. Now here's the problem, because they're failing fast, right? They get to the top of the ladder, and what do they realize? They're climbing the wrong wall. It's not the wall that they wanted to climb on. It's not what they desired. It's not, and now they're more miserable than when they got started. It's not a business that they desired because they didn't get clarity. They didn't have vision of what they really wanted. They just wanted the money, the quick wins, the positive mindset. I can do it. Let's go, go, go. Instead of let's slow down, let's get clear, and let's make sure I'm on the right wall. So the goal and the shift is, hey, instead of, and then here's too, to keep going with that analogy, is they'll have the ladder and then they'll go to another wall and they're like, here's the ladder, and they'll climb the ladder on that wall. It's still the wrong wall. And they're like, that's not it. And they'll put the ladder there and they'll climb the wall and they're like, this is not it. And then they get discouraged because they're like, well, I don't know what I want to do. Right? But it is true, like through action, you do get clarity, but before you even take action, you want a little bit of clarity to know what exactly you want. What are your values? What are your beliefs? How do you want your business to look? Do you want to be a micro macro business? Do you want employees? Do you not want employees? How do you want to serve people? What platform will you serve them? Blah, 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 blah. And it seems like really ridiculous because you're like, yeah, I know. But really being asked by someone and digging in deep, what you realize is you don't really know what you want, and you don't really have as much clarity as you think you do. And so you're climbing this ladder on the wrong wall. So you want to focus on the wall first, and then, okay, this is the wall I want to climb. Let me put my ladder here, and then let me grow. And then of course you might tweak it, but for the most part, you're on the right ladder, right? It just might be shifting it a little bit. It might be that the ladder grows a little bit, but you're on the right wall. And when you get to the top, you're like, yes, this is what I've been working so hard for. So really the shift is not like fail as quickly as possible, but get clear and know that you're learning the whole time, and it's about choosing the right wall, not climbing the ladder as fast as you can. So let's recap really quickly the 3 paradigms, and this really helps me understanding this is, one, not being so focused on the short term, not being so focused on how do I make money, how do I make money, how do I make a 6-figure business, but like zooming out from that, because that's really zoomed in, zoom out and say, what's the bigger picture, and how can I see this as creating systems that make me money so that I go from being a solopreneur to a business owner. Then the paradigm shift two was really looking at the difference between a positive mindset and a millionaire mindset. So really a positive mindset, maybe you're even a business owner and you have the positive mindset, but I want you to start to be like a millionaire who has a millionaire mindset, who thinks like an investor. If you remember the quadrant, there's the employees, there's the self-employed, or the solopreneurs. So many people end up here in our industry. There's the business owner, and then there's the investor. And so really the ultimate that you want to be at is investing, because that's what really creates long-term sustainable wealth, financial freedom, right? But the more we can build the business and we can make more cash flow, the faster that we can invest and we can create those assets and those systems that are going to make us money. It's just we have to have that bigger vision. And to do that, we have to have a millionaire mindset, not just a positive mindset. We have to believe it's not just possible, but it's inevitable for us, and to just have the patience and to keep going, but also to have a plan in place, okay? So that was number two, is to shift from just a positive mindset and go into, evolve into a millionaire mindset. And then lastly, number three is stop trying to tell yourself fail fast, go, 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 action, action, action. While action is important, sometimes we need to slow down to speed up. Sometimes we need to get clarity and we need to check in with ourselves. We need to tune in. Am I in the right direction? Why am I having resistance to showing up? Where am I not clear? Because again, lack of clarity equals resistance. If we're not clear, we're going to resist. We're going to procrastinate. We're going to drag our feet. Whereas if we're more in alignment, or whatever you want to say, then we're just going to go, and we're not really going to care what people think or what it looks like, right? We're just going to be like, this is the message that I need to share because it feels right. I have complete clarity. And you get like that burning internal desire, like, I cannot hold this in. I just have to share it, right? And then, you caring about what you look like on video, or you caring about if you tell your story the right way, or you caring about if, you can answer questions or not. I don't know, whatever goes on in your head. That doesn't matter anymore, because now you're obligated to do it because you have such clarity. You have that burning desire that like propels you forward, and it just makes everything so much easier. But most people are working against resistance and going. And again, they find that their ladder that they've been climbing and so busy taking action on is leaning up against the wrong wall. So you don't want to be up against the wrong wall. So those are the three paradigm shifts. That's what's so huge. And that's what you need to start thinking about and focusing on, so that you can create that millionaire mindset, so that you can start to create systems that work for you, so that you can start creating assets and investments that make you money. Okay, so these are the paradigm shifts. It's always the smallest shifts, and it starts in our thinking first. It starts in how we view things, and having permission to see things in another way, right? Having permission to know there's a better way, even than what you're doing now.